All right, y'all. Here it is. Take a look on your screen here and see this is the build that I made my best jump shot video on, and all my most recent 2K post videos. This has been the build that I'm using. So if you were ever wondering, or you're kind of figuring out how am I going out there with this build, then here, take a look. This is it. And as far as the badges look, I know you guys like to see what badges look like. Badges are like this. He's not even finished yet. I haven't even maxed him out yet. I still have 7 shooting badges to go. Finishing wise, these are what my finishing badges are looking like. This is where I'm at with shooting so far. I was working on Deadeye. I'm working on Deadeye. And then, you just kind of, I don't even know. Maybe Hot Shot, you put that on next, maybe. These are my playmaking badges. Keep in mind, you can probably play around with this if you play Park or something. I play Big Man in the Rec with this build, so I had to put badges on that kind of relate to what I do. And then, of course, defensively, this is where we're at now. And then now, we'll just transition into the second half of the video. All right, people. Now, the only thing about this build in particular, that kind of is a defect or a bad thing. Hold on, I'm moving my mic closer. One thing that's not that good about this build, I would say, is the interior defense. Now, of course, when the year first started, well, how should I even say this? It's rumored out there that you don't really need interior defense to be able to play defense in 2K. Like, as far as blocking shots or whatever, you really just need rim protector or intimidator, and you're pretty much set. But just one thing about this build is a poster waiting to happen. I've been dunked on so many times using this build. It's sickening, really. Like, I'm talking about like contact dunks to where you being clipped. Like, somebody has clipped you and has put you, you're gonna be part of their mixtape or part of their montage, whatever. And I have another build that I'm working on right now, which is almost the equivalent to the build you just seen here, except it has interior defense, because I feel like with the interior defense, it will skyrocket into becoming the best build, the best power forward build in the game. This one is there for either a legit power forwards who have a center or somebody taller that plays behind them, or if you like to play Park, something like that, or if you don't really mind being dunked on, then this build is perfect for you. I like this build. This build has grown on me over the course and time of using it, and I like it. Another thing about it is, rebounding isn't as good or as strong as the numbers say. Or maybe it is. Maybe I'm just not that good at rebounding. My rebound, I think my defensive rebound is a 93. My offensive rebound is like an 89 or something. So the numbers is there. But I don't really get boards like that. I don't know if it's because competition is growing in size, so it struggles a lot against like 7'3", 7'2" centers out here, like that build out there now that people are using. I think it's the two-way facilitator that's like 7'2" or something, or post facilitator, whatever it is. it's a build out there that's famous for centers. It will struggle against those builds, or it'll really struggle against like legit centers, like big boys. But it's a give and take. You may not get rebounds, but you could easily quick first step that center every play. You ain't even got to dribble. You can just drive and you'll be good. Drive and you'll be good. Shots is fine. Dribbling is fine. Now, me personally, I don't dribble. So I didn't use my playmaking badges on dribbling things, handle for days, stuff like that you guys use it for. I use mine on the role that I play on my team. I play center, so I, break starter, bullet passer. Bullet passer's a must. If you don't have bullet passer, you doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong if you don't have bullet passer. Now, of course, if you're still rocking a build from the beginning and you're rocking the Agent Zero build that he dropped when the game dropped, and you came to like that, well then you are useless out there because you can't pass. Now, of course, you're not useless if you are the designated hash shooter. You're not struggling if you're like that. But if you are anything else, anything remotely close to anything else, then you may be in trouble. But like I said before, I'm working on another build. Unfortunately, I have to play career, and it's very difficult because I'm not a career guy. So you can imagine not being a career guy, having to play career to get a player up. It's pain for me. It's pain. But eventually he'll get out, he'll get done, or he'll get enough badges where I can bring him online and not really get worked by the people out there. And speaking of online, I'm just going to transition into the next thing and just ask you, the viewers who watch this video, do you think 2K has implemented skill-based matchmaking? Because I don't know if you guys have experienced what I've experienced, but Rec is just built different now. Rec is nuts. Now, I will say, me and my team don't really lose that many Rec games like we used to. But I did hear that Pro-Am doesn't give you, I think it doesn't give you rep, which could explain why everybody's in the Rec. But every Rec game that we play now is like extremely sweaty. And it's like every Rec game is like what Team used to be in 2K18. Like, you know how you could tell a difference? Like, you're being Rec, you'd be popping somebody. Or no, back in those days it was called walk-on Pro-Am. You'll be in walk-on playing AIs and stuff like that. You'd be popping people with your Team 5. But then that would get sick. You get tired of that. So then you would go into Pro-Am and it's just a whole nother game. It's slower. Timing on all the shots are different. And of course the competition increases. But this year, it's like every Rec game is pain. Every Rec game is pain. Every Rec game is sweat. And I want to know if it comes from, is it just because of that reason that, there's no rep in Pro-Am, or does 2K skill-based matchmaking? Because usually the typical Rec day for me and my friends go as follows. You go into Rec. First game of the day, we'll play like 2 AIs. Right? Play like 2 AIs. 3 users. and the users stay in the game. They'll stay in the game, and they'll be down by like 50. No one leaves. Right, no one leaves. Then we finally get out that dreaded game. We go back and we play rec game number 2, and it's probably, I want to say, 4 AIs, 1 user. He doesn't quit. Sleep through that game. You're in rec game number 3. You got 4 users now, 1 AI. Then that 4 users kind of sweaty. You're kind of sweaty, you know. They're kind of, you know how when you play that game and you know what type of game it is, it'd be like that. But then it's like, after you win about 7 rec games in a row, you know, with people quitting and things like that, you win about 7 in a row. Then you get into that game. It's a full 5. Team average. Overall, sorry. Team average overall is like yours. 96, 97, 98. You know, stuff like that. Then you line up and you'll see Superstar 1, Superstar 3, Superstar 4. And it's just like, oh, this is the type of game it is. You see 2-ways out there, 2-way threats, shot creators. Let you already know from the tip what type of game this gonna be. Then you proceed to go out there and it gets sweaty. Every turnover, every missed shot, every non-rebound, every rebound that gets left comes back to bite you. Comes back to bite you. And then it's back and forth all game long. Game of runs is what they call basketball, and those type of games are the prime example of that. You know, 1 minute you start up 11-3, they call a timeout, and they come back and score like 12 unanswered. Now you're down 3, going into the second quarter or going into halftime. And it's like that every day. But like I said, recently we just been running it. Recently we don't even lose in the rec, sweats or no sweats, because we have implemented a defensive scheme that is starting to be worked to perfection. And because of that, our wins have went up. Our wins have gone up because of that. But yeah, man, I really just got this video out here to just showcase you just a gameplay of what this build will typically do. Now, I'm a role player. Gotta keep that in mind. I'm a role player on my team. I'm not the best player on my team. I'm not the second best. I'm not the third best. I'm really just a glorified role player. But I have good builds. And it was recommended to me from a friend that I should, showcase the build to you guys to see if you guys can use this same build and maybe you're a star or, an actual good player at the game, and you can take this build and make it glitched. Make it glitched, okay? And then I also wanted to talk about, am I the only one that experienced skill-based matchmaking in 2K? Do I feel like it's in the game? I think they have it. I think they implemented it in the game without even really mentioning or saying anything about it, drawing attention to it. But it just don't make no sense that once you blow out like 3 teams in a row, that 4th team is so sweaty, it's just almost unbearable. That game, it's almost unbearable. That game is almost unbearable. But my stat line in this game wasn't even that crazy. That's the thing. It wasn't even that crazy. It was just, it was a decent game. In my opinion, it was just decent. It was decent, and that's kind of why I put it out here, because I just felt like it was a decent game, a decent performance. And I'm still not even badged up yet. I'm waiting to get on my badges so I can put on or change my takeovers. But given that I'm working on another build right now, and I'll try to get that video to you guys as soon as I finish that build, I probably won't ever max this player up. But I will leave a link to the jump shot this player is using in the description below. Put that jump shot on, man. The jump shot does great things. Watch the whole jump shot video. It'll show you from top to bottom how I get down. But until next time, Chris Jones is signing out.